tossing, turning, and restless all night long? Counting down the hours until your alarm goes off? Constantly reaching for the cooler side of the pillow? If you just can't get those eyes to stay shut, don't worry, we have the perfect solution, and with it, you'll be able to fall asleep in as little as 2 minutes. The following is a tried and tested method brought to you by the United States Navy. This routine was created for pilots in pre-flight school and was designed specifically so that pilots would be able to fall asleep anywhere, no matter how uncomfortable. Throughout this process, remember to keep breathing slowly and deeply. We are about to fall into slumber in record time. Relax your face and take your first deep breath. This isn't as simple as resting your head on the pillow. Start by closing your eyes. Once your world is enveloped in peaceful darkness, tense the muscles in your forehead, then release. Repeat this with all the muscles in your face, working from your forehead down to your cheeks, your nose, your mouth, your jaw, and even your tongue. As the tension in your face completely subsides, it's time to move down to your body. Relax your neck, shoulders, and traps. Allow yourself to sink into the bed or chair you find yourself in. Repeat the process used for relaxing your face, but this time start with your upper arms. Relax your biceps, forearms, wrists, then hands. Your arms and shoulders now feel like they're resting on clouds, and so follow up by relaxing your chest. Exhale slowly. Now relax your legs, starting with the upper thighs and moving down to your calves, then finishing with your feet. It's almost time to drift away. The last step is to empty your mind. This may prove the most troublesome part of the technique, but fear not. There are ways to trick your brain into letting those unwanted thoughts disperse. The first is to repeat the words, "Don't think" in your head for 10 seconds straight. If that fails, then try picturing yourself floating in a vast ocean with only dim moonlight above. This military method is proven to be effective, though not without practice. You essentially have to train to be able to utilize this technique. The Navy pilots used the military method for 6 weeks, and when they were tested after the period, 96% of them were able to fall asleep within 2 minutes. They even managed to nod off with machine gun fire sounding out in the background. Their sleep success is proof that with just over a month of consistently practicing this method, you will be able to get those 40 winks anywhere, anytime. Okay, so 6 weeks sounds like a long commitment, but remember, if you manage to master the military method, you'll be sleeping soundly for the rest of your life. And not only will that likely ensure the rest of your life is filled with better well-being, it'll also limit all the time wasted trying to fall asleep. In fact, life with a healthy sleep cycle can be drastically different from one without. Not getting enough shut-eye is actually dangerous. This is why you should take your sleep seriously. Your body needs sleep. It's during your nighttime slumber that your body and brain recover. Getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night on a consistent basis can lead to major health complications. Sleep deprivation can increase the risk of multiple psychological disorders, including depression, anxiety, and impulsive behavior. Not getting enough ZIAs also impacts the body's immune system, leaving you more susceptible to diabetes and heart disease. In short, a consistent lack of sleep is so bad for your health, it can actually contribute to an early death. Now, you might be thinking that you can get by on a 5-hour doze and an early morning dose of coffee, but caffeine is no substitute for proper rest. If you become dependent on caffeine or other stimulants to provide you with enough energy to get through the day, you could find yourself in a dangerous cycle. You see, cups of coffee or Coca-Cola throughout the workday might make you feel sharp and ready to take on the world. And just as they make you feel more awake, they actually make it harder for you to fall asleep once nighttime arrives. And so, to make up for the lack of sleep brought on by your caffeine intake, you drink even more coffee. Anyway, even with an assist from a trusty cup of joe, you still aren't likely to function at 100%. A 2018 study found that those night owls who sleep 5 or 6 hours a night are 19% less productive than the pillow and pajama pundits who regularly get 7 or 8 hours a night. Sleep for any less than 5 hours, and you'll find yourself as much as 30% less productive than the people getting the recommended number of hours. But doesn't this differ depending on your age? It certainly does. If you're an adult between the ages of 18 and 60, the CDC recommends a minimum of 7 hours per night. If you're a teenager, you need a little more nap time, between 8-10 hours a night. If you're between the ages of 6 and 12, then you need as many as 9 to 12 hours every day, and these numbers only get higher the younger we go. Though of course, when you're still in diapers, it's always easy to find time to nap. Newborn babies need anywhere from 14 to 17 hours. That's some serious shut-eye. All this information may have you feeling even more stressed about not getting enough sleep, which is only going to make getting that sleep more difficult. But you can relax. Even if the military method doesn't work for you, there are plenty of other ways to ensure you reach the required hours of sleep every night, and none of them include counting sheep, though we aren't discounting that as a method if it works for you. The first and perhaps most appropriate tip in our modern world is to remove distractions like smartphones when it's time for bed. Not only can the call of social media or an unanswered text message keep you tossing and turning, but the light from your phone actually sends a signal to your brain telling it to wake up. A better choice before getting under the covers would be to read a book in dim light, or to take a relaxing hot bath or shower. Make sure your room is dark and quiet. Or if you prefer a little background sound while you wind down, some easy listening music or white noise may do the trick. When it comes to room temperature, you literally want to chill out by keeping the room a little chilly. The optimal temperature for sleep is around 65 Fahrenheit or 18 Celsius. It's also a good idea to avoid doing anything that gets you worked up. A late-night gym session might seem like a good time to pump some iron, but it's only going to have a negative effect on your sleep cycle. That doesn't mean you should skip the workouts entirely, because regular exercise will help you to fall asleep faster, just as long as you aren't doing it in your pajamas. Choosing when to go to bed is perhaps obviously important too. Hitting the hay when you first feel tired will give you the greatest chance of success when it comes to falling to sleep quickly. Going to bed when you aren't tired will have the opposite effect. You should avoid eating fatty fried foods before bedtime, along with foods high in sugar, and anything too spicy. You may end up with some heartbreak trying to fall asleep, and then some heartburn soon after. And of course, we've already covered this one, but try to reduce your caffeine intake. Follow all of these steps, or even just a few of them, and you should notice a difference in your nighttime routine right away. Sleep deprivation can lead to serious health complications. You now have a ticket to the dreamiest of destinations. But if you still struggle to sleep on a consistent basis and feel you really have tried everything, including counting those pesky sheep, then don't be afraid to consult your doctor. We all need our beauty sleep.